fellow wanderers, welcome back to the Wandering Gypsy RV Life Podcast. We are coming to you today from the Family RV Association's Greater Eastern Area Rally here in beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The Family RV Association has pretty much taken over Ocean Lakes Campground. Today's episode is all about some friends of mine. I will be talking to Jennifer Schillaci of the Learn to RV podcast, plus her family company, RV Roofing Solutions. We'll cover a gambit of topics today. I hope you will stay tuned for this episode. Welcome back. I am sitting here at the Family RV Association's Greater Eastern Area Rally with Jennifer Schillaci of the Learn to RV podcast and RV Roofing Solutions. So Jennifer, welcome and thank you for taking the time to join the Wandering Gypsy RV Life podcast.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
So tell me a little bit about your RV journey, because I know with the Learn to RV podcast, y'all are covering the gambit. Your latest episode was about Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So, we wanted to give people a way to learn how to give back in the RV community. And I think that just because you're on the road doesn't mean that you have to miss some of that. So we've introduced some ways that you can do that by either, joining Lippert Serve or Lasagna Love, or you can even make a turkey dinner for somebody and sign up to do that online and serve anywhere in the country that you're traveling this holiday season.
That is wonderful. The RV lifestyle, you don't lose those family traditions if you make sure you have the family traditions. Did I hear in your first podcast that one Christmas y'all had tacos?
That was our first Christmas on the road. Yeah, we didn't want to do anything normal that year, so we decided that tacos was a good go-to for us.
So we were talking about non-traditional Christmas dinner. So let's start there with, you served tacos for your first Christmas on the road.
So that was 13 years ago, and the reality was everything had changed. Like we had, we were on the road with our family. We didn't want anything to be the same. And so we said, well, let's make a different tradition every year. So every year we do something different, but our first year was tacos.
So how did you and Jennifer and forgive me, Tasha, yes. How did y'all come up with the Learn to RV podcast, and what is the driving force behind that podcast?
So that's one. So this past spring, I bought Learn to RV from my friend Doug, and he had gotten off the road with his family, and they've settled in Florida. And I said, if we're going to do this, I don't want it to go to just anybody. And Learn to RV is such a great brand. And so we started pouring into the website and rebuilding the website. And that was important to me because I felt like there wasn't enough good educational free content out there. And so this past summer, my friend came to me and said, hey, I have a podcaster that's, getting out of podcasting with a company. Would you be interested? And I was like, well, I'd be interested in a conversation. And so that's how it started. And it turned out that it just wasn't a good fit. And I stopped in South Dakota and had dinner with Jen Agio. And she said, in my previous life, I was a videographer.
Wow.
And I was like, well, that's one problem. And then my good friend Tasha, who happens to do copywriting for RV Roofing Solutions, said, well, I spent 2.5 years as a radio DJ.
Well, there you go.
And so it was kind of born out of that ideology. We wanted someplace where there could be road schooling activities, there could be family RV association activities, there could be educational opportunities talking about how to winterize your RV. There's a lot of content out there, but most of those places are monetized or they gain something out of it.
Right.
We do not.
No.
And so that is it's just a heart project at this point. There are some advertising opportunities for businesses at this point. But that's the only way that Learn to RV makes money. It will never make money from the consumers that we serve.
And I'm the same way. The Wandering Gypsy RV Life is a heart project for me. one of the biggest things I've seen lacking, just as Learn to RV has, is RV education. That's what prompted me to write my Rolling Smooth series. And it's a series of books that walk you through the basics of getting started in the RV life. And it was honestly, in my opinion, a market that was underserved. And
Absolutely.
because you see all of the Facebook groups, the YouTube channels, and most of them will show you that beautiful Instagram filtered sunset. They won't show you when you're in Dodge City, Kansas, in the middle of a summer thunderstorm, and your rear bedroom slide, when you push the button, does nothing.
Right.
And
Or it's full of clickbait, which is also very common.
Right.
And you know, a lot of those influencers, I mean, I'm friends with a ton of them.
I am too.
You know, we have been on the road for 13 years, so I've seen tons of them come and
tons of go, yeah.
And so we've been doing this a long time, and we may not be the biggest name out there, but the reality is we've been doing this for a long time. And I think that in itself changes the equation in terms of just the heart behind it.
Right.
I think that we're doing it for all the right reasons.
Yes.
And so Learn to RV is not going to be a website for everybody, but you know, if you're looking to reorganize your storage, there's an article for that. If
Right.
you're looking to learn how to set up your mailbox, there's 2 articles on that. There's one about how to set up a domicile.
Okay.
And it doesn't just talk about one brand.
Okay.
I actually had one big brand come to me with Learn to RV this past year and say, hey, if you give us exclusive rights, we'll fund you. Mm-hmm. And I said no.
So I was talking to a good friend of mine, Doug Simcox, and I always shout out his podcast, Beyond the Chutes. It's the history of the International Professional Rodeo Association, and he talks to all of the previous generations, the 1960s, 70s, and 80s rodeo cowboys in the IPRA. And he and I were talking about monetization and all of that. And one of the big things for me is, yes, I could take advertisers. Yes, I could have somebody pay for the podcast. But I want to keep my content family friendly.
Yep.
I want to keep it where if I want to tell you that I use Clean Tank services, and here's why. And I recorded a video this week on why to have your tanks professionally cleaned.
Yep.
As you know, there's a whole bunch of tank products out there, and the Clean Tank formula is not for everybody.
Right. Well, and that's just it, but providing those choices, right?
That's right.
And so, like, I believe that you can be a member of FRVA. And,
Yes.
you know, I am a member, and I'm a commercial member of FRVA.
Right.
But I also belong to Escapees.
Right.
I'm also a charter member of Full-Time Families.
Okay.
I also belong to the Republic of Nomads.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm still trying to set up a charter membership for in FRVA to create a chapter
Right.
for families. And
Right.
so it doesn't mean that I can't join all of those things.
No, you can join whatever makes you happy. Like
Correct.
last night, I was at the Eastern Gourmands chapter. They had a meal at one of the restaurants here in Myrtle Beach, and you know, the chapters of the Family RV Association are where you get to know people. Mm-hmm. And sure, the FRVA has all of these benefits, but you know something? For me, it's not really about the benefits. It's about seeing people like Jennifer, like all of my friends who show up, and
Sure.
It's old. If you remember the old camp meetings that people used to have in the 40s, 50s, 60s, where everybody went to a location, church camp meeting, and they spent a week together in food, fun, and fellowship.
Yep.
That to me is what the RV life is all about. What about you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like, community is where it's at. And
Right.
so, that's why we built into Learn to RV community groups. So you can join for free on Facebook.
Right.
Learn to RV, the friendly, informative group. If you're traveling with a family, you can join Road Schooling Resources.
Right.
I actually have like couples that'll join that are former educators that
Right.
give advice in there.
Good.
So you don't have to be a family that travels. These are all closed groups, and the reason they're closed is because I want to protect you.
That's
so
it.
if you join Learn to RV, the friendly, informative group, and you say, hey,
I think I'm a member.
But if you travel through and you say, hey, I'm at Ocean Lakes Campground,
Right.
that's safe to do there, where you're not telling the whole world
Right.
where you are.
Right.
And so I think that especially as seniors that are on the road, I think that we don't think about security enough. We stand around even looking at our phones as we walk into the into Walmart.
Or walk up,
Yeah.
you're not paying attention and you run right square into a bench. Been there, done that.
Right,
Or,
and so those groups are places that people can come and connect for absolutely no money.
That's right.
But at the same time, there's groups like Family RV Association that have enough benefits for me that I want to be a member of that also.
and I want to be a member of that. RV Basics, which was a course that was offered here this week. It is 2 days of hands-on RV education. And I took it twice. I took it for the first time in Tucson when I had a Class C.
Okay.
And then when I bought my Tiffin, my Class A, I took it again because there were so many. I went from a 30 amp coach to a 50 amp coach. And, you had to juggle power in that 30 amp coach, but you still got to sometimes juggle power in that 50 amp coach.
100%. And learning how to manage those systems.
Right.
So classes like that are super important, and that's where the education side of it comes in, where I think there's lots of education out there, but they want you to pay for all of it.
And the other thing is, with education, I've sat in a few seminars that, even though I'm a software developer, they were so technical up here that it went slam over my head. And that doesn't help anybody.
So I actually texted Frank last night because somebody has said to me, my roof doesn't leak. We own RV Roofing Solutions.
Right.
And so I said, my next seminar is going to be, hey, my roof doesn't leak, ... yet.
That's right.
And so maybe that's the next title
Yes.
of a seminar.
That's the title of a seminar. So for me, I am on the Family RV Association's Education Committee. Glenda Milner appointed me, or had me appointed, a month ago.
Nice.
And and she's got me lined up to do seminars. I'm doing a single seminar in Perry, and it's staying connected on the road. And for that is reliable internet. Yes, there's campground Wi-Fi. Yes, there's campground
But there's
Wi-Fi.
a million reasons not to use it.
There's a million reasons not to use campground Wi-Fi. I will go into that in that seminar. There's Starlink, and then there's all of the cellular offerings. Yeah. So my seminar is going to be product agnostic. So I'm going to give you all of the pros and cons of campground Wi-Fi, Starlink, and cellular internet.
And I do that too. I do a ladies' chick chat at
Right.
a lot of these,
Right.
and that's one of the groups that I have. So you don't have to come to a ladies' chick chat, although if they come, there's prizes. But the advantage to a ladies' chick chat is I don't have any company that I'm representing at that. It's just you come with your questions. So I have no two ladies' chick chats that
Right.
are ever the same.
Right.
And it's the same thing. A lot of times they'll ask me about products. Or brands, is this a good brand? Is that a good brand? A lot of them I'm using. And so, having those as options for people and having firsthand experience with them. And a lot of people don't know what they don't know till they need it.
So the opening line in my book, which I started RVing in August of 2020, and I said I took a 77-day, 10,000-mile trip in my first
Wow.
RV, and when I started out, I didn't know what I didn't know, and every mile was an adventure. What is the Learn to RV tagline because I love it.
Making miles one moment at a time is kind of the heart behind it.
Right.
And friendships are a big part of that.
Yes.
So
I met you at the Tiffin Allegro Riding the Range Rally in Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Yep.
This summer. I was there, got invited by some vendors just to hang out and do some social media and record a few videos, podcasts, that sort of thing. So, I'm a social media marketer. That's what I do now to pay the bills because I have retired.
Yep.
Quote, retired. I don't think you ever really retire.
I think that if you are active in your community, you'll be more fulfilled and be around a lot longer too.
Right.
So
right.
but I think you're investing in that community.
Yes.
And so you find value in the community that you're willing to step in the gap and invest in.
Right.
And I think that's something that as RVers that we need to be able to do.
So I got a little short story for you this morning. There was a lady in here. She's sweet as she can be. She was told that her bike needed air. She needed to pump her tires up. They were low. So she said, "I've got to go find an air compressor." I said, "No, you don't. Just let's walk to my RV.
Yep.
I'll get your tires pumped up and get you taken care of." So 15 minutes of my time paying it forward.
Yep.
And you know something? People have done that for me too. So it's, in this community, you see that a lot.
Yep. You do.
Yes.
And even that, there's companies that'll step in that gap too. So
right.
we are Escapees members as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't escape from jail. If you know what Escape is, you know what it means. And if
yep.
you don't, then you're probably not one.
Right.
But Escapees
and see, I'm not
members,
an Escapees member yet.
Well, but Escapees has a campground in Livingston, Texas.
Okay.
And they have a program called the CARE program.
Okay.
And so that's a not-for-profit program.
Okay.
When the company was sold last year, it still is part of Escapees.
Good.
And so what happens is people that age out and need to get off the road for medical reasons or whatever can go stay at the CARE facility in their RV and have skilled nursing right there. They can get driven to appointments. They can get everything taken care of. And so it's a beautiful thing.
Wonderful.
But our company stepped in the gap, and we've said, we will take 40. So basically, we give them a roof at cost.
Right.
And so we need the materials paid for and our technician paid for. But other than that, we're stepping in the gap and providing a service. Now they have to be referred to us
by that care facility.
Correct.
Yes.
And the rig has to be in good quantifiable condition.
Okay.
It can't be condemned for
right.
some reason. But if it's staying at that facility, it's not going to be anyways.
No.
So there's ways that, even companies will give back in this community.
Yes.
And so, and I know a bunch of companies that I could tell you would do that.
And I could name a bunch myself
Yep.
that give back. That's part of that. To me, that's a bigger part of this lifestyle is the community, the family, the camaraderie. In about 30 minutes, we're going to have a chapter fair here at the rally. And I was looking at all the tables. I think there are about 25 or 30 chapters represented.
I was 29 when
You were
I signed
29.
up.
Okay,
yeah.
so I was pretty close at 25 to 30.
So I actually wasn't going to set up at this.
Right.
Because our chapter is not official yet.
Okay.
So I have all the paperwork, and I brought the paperwork with me to show Phyllis,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted her to look over it, make sure it was ready to go. She goes, "Oh, you need to set up at the chapter fair." I'm like, "Phyllis, I don't think there's any other families here." She goes, "But there might be grandparents that travel with their grandkids." So Rolling Roots, that's what we're doing, is we're rolling out a family-centric chapter.
Oh, great.
And so it's for people that travel with children. That
Okay.
could be your grandkids, that can be your nieces and nephews, that can be you're just part-time on the road as a family, that can be somebody like me that's been a full-time family for 13 years.
Right.
And so it's being geared for that. But the idea
That's stepping in the gap. That right there is stepping in the gap. And
well, the goal is for Perry to have 25 families present.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's the goal. There's a goal.
There's the goal. All right. So, There's a chapter with people who travel with their pets.
Yes.
There's a chapter for last night, like I said, the Eastern Gourmands. They're all about the food.
Yep.
There's the Rambling Pushers, which are all about motor coach maintenance.
Yep.
Well,
and there's brand specific too. Like there's a Tiffin coach.
There's a Tiffin.
There's a Penn Coachman group.
Penn Coachman is for Pennsylvania. I'm a member of the Penn Coachman chapter, and we just finished their rally up about a month ago at the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. You get to park in the infield where the drivers' coaches park. They have 50 amp full hookups. And you back your rig in, you plug in, you hook up. But the one thing you need to know, if you're going there, you need 30 feet of sewer hose. And you need about 40 feet of power and about 40 feet of water.
Yep. That's good. That's good information.
That is.
And that's information that a lot of people don't know when they travel.
That's it.
You know,
I didn't realize that I should carry extra length of water hose. That when I first started, I carried just 25-foot water hose. I carried just 25 feet of power cord.
Oh, wow.
And I carried just 25 feet of sewer hose. And the first time, because I wasn't towing a car, I would have to take the RV, park it, go buy what I needed to buy, take it in the RV, travel back, and hook up again.
Gotcha.
So that first 77-day, 10,000-mile trip, it was all about making sure you planned ahead. So you would stop at the grocery store before you got in for the week. Because once the week started, I was working remotely back then. Yeah. Once the week started, you really couldn't go anywhere. But today I've learned that I've got my Chevrolet Equinox that I tow, and y'all are in a fifth wheel, right?
We are in a Newmar though, which people don't realize. Newmar made a fifth wheel for 2 years.
Wow.
And so last year we had a Forest River Cardinal, and it was a good unit. It just had a lot of miles on it.
Right.
And so we started looking for something, and we knew we wanted something with the build quality. We would have really liked to have had a Tiffin. Mm. We were looking for a Van Lee toy hauler.
Right.
But I've talked to Greg Dees from over there, and they only made 9 of those, and 3 of those are in use by Tiffin at rallies.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be like finding a needle in a haystack.
It was when I first started, I didn't want any slides.
Oh, interesting.
I was scared to death of slides.
I spent the first 3 years without slides.
But I had heard and read, and that's something you've got to watch out for.
Yep.
I read so many horror stories, and because I didn't know what I didn't know, it made me very nervous and scared of having slides.
Yeah.
So that was a problem.
Yeah.
And so I had a little 25-foot Class C. After that 10,000-mile trip, I started getting a little claustrophobia. Can you understand that?
I spent the first 3 years in a 30-foot toy hauler with no slides and 6 kids. So yes, I 100% understand that.
Six kids?
Yeah.
Y'all were tripping over one another.
Oh, 100%. In that unit, we absolutely were. But we waited until we were in a place where we knew we were staying on the road for more than those 3 years. Because the average family stays on the road 2.5 to 3 years.
Okay.
And that's it. And so we wanted to make sure that this was the lifestyle we were choosing.
Right.
And so, my husband always calls people quitters when they get off the road. People do it for whatever reason or another.
There are so many reasons that people have,
Right.
It's sometimes they choose to get off the road because it's become they've gotten a little older, they've gotten frail, these things are a lot of work.
A lot of people come out and it's just a bucket list item. So they have their path and they have a hard time connecting because they're not willing to take the time to stop and readjust their sails.
Right.
And I think that in RV life, one of my good friends several years back said a sailor's plans are written in sand at low tide.
That's it.
And I think that has to be in RVer's plans too.
Right.
Maybe not on the beach at low tide, but
Yeah.
That, if we find out our friends are going to be at a rally, I think it's equally important to be able to connect with them.
That's
and
it.
take that time together.
Yes.
Because it's like anything, and I always tell people, it's not always the first time you meet someone that you connect.
No.
It's oftentimes the second or the third meeting.
Right.
Where hey, I'm going to see him again.
Right.
Where that connection actually starts.
So we connected at the Tiffin rally.
Yep.
And, and then you said you were at that point you had not started Learn to RV podcast yet. Y'all, it was in the works. Y'all were working on it, and so I was encouraging. I tried to encourage that it's not that podcasting is not the easiest thing to do.
Oh, it's definitely not for the faint of heart.
No.
As you watch those go up every week thinking, so we did a guys takeover podcast.
I saw that.
Which I thought was going to be the biggest hit ever. And it's not. It's actually the lowest playing one.
Really?
So I had this dream of it. And the guys didn't do it. They thought it was dumb. But I wanted Frank to come in and hit the mic and go, hey, are you on yet? Phil, are you coming in? I got Jen away from the computer.
Jennifer, are you on yet?
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was the idea. And they thought it was too cheesy. But I thought that would have
loved
brought such a fun aspect to it. So
that would have been a fantastic podcast.
But, it's a great episode. It was about brakes. And it's not something that I really speak to other than being frozen in fear for when our brakes went out on the road.
Right.
But Frank could tell you the other side of it. And so, we do have, a spotlight series with other RVers that are coming on. I'm hoping to get you on that spotlight series.
I will take you up when the time is when we can do it and when we can make that happen. And
But the Spotlight series is special because, it's all about promoting the other RVers that are out there.
Right.
And I feel like that brings that community back in a different way. You're watching it, obviously.
Right.
You're listening to it.
Yes.
But it's a way for you to feel connected. And so, and most of us are very real people, very real RVers. And so most of us read our own fan mail, that sort of thing. We don't have anybody managing those sites.
I have zero management on my side. There are 3 people who handle Wandering Gypsy RV Life. Me, myself, and I.
See, and I'm fortunate. I have Jen Aggio and Tasha Martin, who are my co-hosts, but they also do a lot of the back-end stuff. It's kind of a heart project that someday, if it goes big, will pay off for them.
Yes.
And I just want the bills paid on it. So.
Well, all I'm trying to do is pay my bills to go down the road.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love this lifestyle, as you do, and love the opportunities that this lifestyle presents. I was on the RV Out West podcast on Monday.
Nice.
Recorded that podcast with Brooks Smothers of RV Out West, and we talked about traveling in the Pacific Northwest because that's where he is concentrating his RVing. I don't believe he is a full-timer, but he RVs consistently. And I was listening to his podcast this week, and he's talking about Marie Kondoing and giving every fall, giving your recreational vehicle a deep cleaning. And that he had an entire episode on how to do that.
And that's super important.
It is.
It's no different than, knowing how to inspect your roof sealant every year. If that's something you need to do.
And, I should have talked to you in July when I had the roof resealed because, I realized that you did roofing, but it was one of those, it's kind of like when I tripped over, I was a member of FRVA, when I tripped over a speed bump in Fredericksburg, Texas, fractured my kneecap, fractured my wrist.
Oh, no.
And ended up 3 days in the hospital. Mom and Dad, AKA management and assistant management, flew out and drove my 25-foot Class C and Rosie, my tow car, back to North Carolina. With me in the bed in the RV with this wrist after full reconstruction surgery, trying to keep the swelling out of it as, going from Texas to North Carolina, altitude changes.
Oh, yeah.
My fist looked like the size of a softball. But had I realized that the FRVA assist would have paid somebody to drive my rig back and would have covered a medical transport for me from Fredericksburg to North Carolina, you forget about the benefits sometimes, and you forget about the people you know. It's nothing intentional.
No, absolutely not. And I get that.
It's just in the moment, you're trying to solve a problem.
Well, and I mean, that's why we do free roof inspections
Right.
at rallies. So we do the free roof inspections. We'll do 20 or 30 of them here this week.
Good.
But the thing
And you know, I'm going to ask you to inspect mine.
But the thing is, the nice thing about that though is when you get down the road, even if you don't choose us this
Right.
year, you know, 2-3 years down the road, when you're ready,
Yeah.
most of the time we're your first phone call, and that's how it works. And so we have a partnership where FRVA members save a certain percentage. If you're a Tiffin Allegro member as well,
Which I am.
there's an extra discount for
Okay.
those Allegro members, and it's almost like being at a rally because it's $5 for FRVA and it's $5 a foot for Tiffin Allegro members. So it's $10 off a foot.
Wow.
So if you're both of those things,
Which
then
I
that
am.
can be a substantial discount. And then we even go a step further. If you're a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
a veteran, or a first responder, there's an additional discount. So,
Do I count RV education as being a teacher?
well, actually, I would have. Yeah. So it's an
okay.
extra $100. It's not lots of money,
No.
but it all adds up.
It all
and
adds
nobody
up.
else is doing what we're doing out there.
And you know, here's the thing. People think that when you get into this lifestyle, that it is a cheaper lifestyle. That is an absolute misnomer.
That would be the word I would have used.
It's a misnomer, folks, because here's the thing. You still got campground fees, you still have maintenance, you know, and the maintenance is the key to being able to stay
And then
on the road.
the extra tools you need. You
Yes.
know, like making sure your tires are good all the time.
Right.
But it's not just that. It's making sure that you have some type of tire system that's like a monitoring system on
Right.
those units. It's having a fire suppression system to make sure that, you know,
Right.
as you're going down the road, nothing catches on fire.
How many fire extinguishers do you have in your rig?
So we have 3, but we also have Protang. So
Okay, I
we-
don't have Protang yet, and
Yeah.
that is a Protang yet.
But it's a great product.
It
and,
is.
and you know, and there's so many other great products out there. And I think that there's just like even just having a water filtration system.
Right.
You know, Blue Tech is the king of them at this point.
And I've got the Blue Tech AR3 with a water softener
Yep.
on my coach. Yes, it is. It's pricey. It's north of $1,000, but the quality of the water.
Sometimes you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for,
The
and
Blue Tech, though, there was a story this past year about a lady in Texas that died from some kind of bacteria that got into her water. And I don't know if you read about
I
it.
did. It was bacterial. It was a brain-eating amoeba that she got from using water out of a freshwater tank in
But do you know that a Blue Tech that would have filtered that out and would have got caught up in the filter?
It would not in her case.
No, well, because it had already gotten in.
It had already gotten in.
But it would have stopped it from the outside had she
Correct.
had that on the outside of her
Correct.
rig. So.
Correct. It would have stopped it. But the reason that happened is she had let her freshwater tank stagnate. And you've got...
Well, and a lot of people do. They just, again, don't know what they don't know.
That's it.
And so that's the thing, is there's so many things that are out there that, do you keep your black tank open?
No.
And why don't you keep your black tank open?
Because I don't want no poop pyramids.
But people don't realize that that's
No.
what happens.
No, and I don't
was
even
actually
keep my-
talking to a guy the other day here, and he said that he knew somebody that had rented through Cruise America or some other brand, and they said that they couldn't have anything in the tank when it came time to turn in the vehicle. So they were told to open their black tank and leave it wide open on their last trip in. And I was like, excuse me?
Really?
Yeah, and I don't remember which brand it was, but you get charged extra if there's anything in the tank. So instead of teaching them how to flush a tank,
Right.
which is the right way to do it.
Absolutely.
They just told them to leave it wide open as they were traveling down the highway.
But so they probably still ended up with a charge because of the poop pyramid.
Well, and that, and you have the whole situation of, you can go buy a 40-foot fifth wheel, and you tell the salesman you've got a 150, and he says, "Oh, you can pull it with that."
No, you can't. And in my book, Rolling Smooth, Keeping Your Rig Road Ready, I talk about you pick your towable, if you want a towable fifth wheel travel trailer, that sort of vehicle, you pick your recreational vehicle, your trailer, your fifth wheel first.
Absolutely.
And then you go buy a truck that has the capability and the gross vehicle weight rating to tow the RV that you chose.
And we have a bunch of blogs on it on Learn to RV because that was something Doug was very passionate about.
Right.
And it's not about whether or not your rig can tow it. It's about whether it can stop it.
That's it. And you mentioned tire pressure monitoring systems. There's also all of these air conditioning, the Easy Start to help extend the life of your air conditioners. There are so many things, and we've digressed just a little bit, but it's a misnomer to think this lifestyle will be a cheaper lifestyle. And it's also not a lifestyle you should enter if you're running away from something. You need to take care of any of your mental, if you have issues, take care of the issues before getting on the road, because those issues will travel with you.
Absolutely. And we actually just did one about medical care coverage. It's open enrollment season. So
Yes.
my friend Delora is a great person to go, but I also use a lot of homeopathic stuff. So we also interviewed my friend Amanda Peltzer.
Okay.
And she's a licensed naturopath.
Okay.
She's not a medical doctor.
Right.
But there's a lot of the things that she offers that we do on the road as just ways to, and we're military, so we have medical insurance wherever we go.
Right.
But at the same time, it's always nice to know there's alternatives.
Right, and I'm on Cobra right now from my previous job, and open enrollment started on the 1st of November. I've already got plans to figure out what I'm doing for 2026 for health insurance, and I'm going to make sure I listen to that episode of Learn to RV podcast. Jennifer, I want to thank you for taking the time today to join me. Please take the next minute and a half to promote Learn to RV podcast.
Okay, so the Learn to RV podcast is a great way to just kind of get to know us. It's just three girls that got together and decided to start a podcast. And so we're talking about just about anything you want to talk about, as long as it's family friendly and the kids can listen in the background. So there's no topics that we have off the table. There is a Patreon channel for those of you that want that podcast a week early. You can go there and sign up for absolutely free on Patreon to get the information that it's coming. And we have a 7-day trial free on those, so that's nice. But if you wanted to support the podcast, there's a great way to do that there too. And so there's some extra benefits for our Patreon members, but Learn to RV, the podcast, will be free. So it's Learn to RV, thepodcast.com, and then you can find us anywhere you listen. So it's Spotify, it's Apple, it's, we just got approved for Amazon Music.
Okay.
And so that, we're getting there.
Let me say this. Learn to RV podcast is everywhere Wandering Gypsy RV Life podcast is. And I also have a Patreon channel. You can subscribe for free. I've been a little weak and lax on getting content up there just because I'm one person.
So we were fortunate because Tasha is, she subscribes to several.
Yes.
And so Tasha was the voice behind what we need to do for those levels. So like there's a $10 subscription level, there's a $25 subscription level, and then there's a $50 subscription level. And different levels get different things.
Right.
So the benefits are like things like T-shirts and gear and swag.
And I'm offering my books as one of the tiers. I don't remember which one.
And so like those people get some extra stuff. But what's nice about the free membership to Patreon is when everything drops.
Right.
Every time. And so then you can just buy one single item.
Yes.
And we actually signed up, and I don't know if you have yet, Buy Me a Coffee. It's not really buying you a coffee.
Okay.
It's kind of like a tip service.
Okay.
And so Buy Me a Coffee is just something you can add to your feed.
Okay.
And people can donate.
Okay.
$10 here, $10 there. We had one person donate on ours, and it was like $30. And we were just so blessed by the fact that they found value in that.
That's a blessing. And I'm going to say this again, and Jennifer's probably going to echo this. She and I, we're not in our podcast. We're not in it for the money. We're in it to make sure you have good, valuable, accurate RV information.
But again, we're not professionals. So,
no.
If you have a question, find an RV tech, that sort of thing. But even that, going to learn2rv.com and just learning how to find an RV tech. There's an article about that.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time, they're not all created equal.
No.
Because we have, we know guys that are RV techs that specialize in black tanks.
Right.
And we know guys that specialize in, solar panel installs. That doesn't make the guy that does the black tanks unavailable to do your solar, but it does mean he doesn't have quite as much experience.
That's it. And, and these brand specific, I always take my coach, I'm a Tiffin, I take it back to Red Bay to get maintenance, but you may not have that luxury, but, they're all in Elkhart, Indiana, Napanee, and all of that, there are a whole lot of cottage RV technicians that you can take your coach there and you can stay in it while it's getting serviced.
Well, and with RV Roofing Solutions, we actually have a network of RV techs
that
are RV techs for us, but they're RV techs in real life too.
Okay.
So they can actually do both. So even if all you have is a question about where to find a good tech, I'm usually a good resource for that.
Well, and I will call you up when I need one. Hopefully, that's not anytime soon.
Right. No, for sure. That's all of our hope, right?
That's it. Jennifer, thank you again for joining the Wandering Gypsy RV Life. Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Wandering Gypsy RV Life. Thank you again for tuning in to this episode, and I hope you get something out of it, and keep rolling smooth. And remember, not all who wander are lost.